Breaking the Silence: How Black Women Reclaim Power After Domestic Violence. Welcome to the soft girl era. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Lawren Phillips, a remarkable advocate whose work has transformed countless lives through her dedication to helping Black women heal from domestic violence. Lawren's profound insights into the journey from survival to softness have shaped today's conversation in ways that will resonate deeply with many of you. Her tireless commitment to creating safe spaces where Black women can reclaim their power has truly made our world better, one healing heart at a time. In a society that often renders Black women's pain invisible, Lawren stands as a beacon of hope, illuminating paths toward healing that many thought impossible. Have you ever noticed how silence can be both a sanctuary and a prison? For many Black women experiencing domestic violence, silence becomes the heaviest burden they carry. It wraps around them like chains disguised as protection. Stay quiet to stay safe, the world whispers. Be strong, society demands. But at what cost? 22%? That's not just a number. That's nearly 1 in 4 Black women who reported experiencing intimate partner violence in just 5 years, according to the KFF Women's Health Survey, the highest rate among all groups surveyed. Behind that percentage are women who wake up each morning wondering if today will be the day when a wrong word, a misplaced item, or simply existing in the wrong space will trigger violence. 45%. That's the lifetime rate at which Black women endure physical violence, sexual assault, or stalking by an intimate partner, nearly 20% higher than their white counterparts, almost half. Let that sink in. In a room of 10 Black women, statistically, 4 to 5 have experienced violence from someone who claimed to love them. These aren't just statistics, they're sisters, mothers, daughters, friends, colleagues. They're women who've been told to be strong for so long that vulnerability feels like failure. Women who've been conditioned to protect everyone but themselves. Women who've been taught that their pain matters less. Women whose suffering has been normalized to the point of invisibility. I'm not here to simply recite these painful numbers. I'm here because of what Lawren Phillips helped me understand, that beneath these statistics lies a profound truth. The path to healing begins with self love, continues with brave action, and flourishes when we realize we're not alone. Let me tell you about Cassie. Cassie Ventura, a woman of color in the music industry, endured years of physical abuse and coercion in her relationship with music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The public nature of their relationship added layers of complexity to her situation: fame, power imbalance, public scrutiny, all while facing systemic barriers like racism and lack of support. What makes Cassie's story remarkable isn't just what she endured, but how she found her way out through cultivating self love and finding her voice despite intense public scrutiny. She ultimately left the relationship. Her testimony became an act of self liberation, and she sought restitution through legal channels. When Cassie spoke out during the trial, even under painful cross examination, she modeled courage for other survivors. She showed us that your voice, once found, cannot be silenced again. Not by threats, not by shame, not by the fear of not being believed. Her story mirrors what research confirms: that women often stay in abusive relationships due to complex emotional cycles. Tension builds, violence erupts, then comes a period of loving respite, making leaving extraordinarily difficult. This cycle isn't a sign of weakness, it's a psychological trap reinforced by fear, hope, and often economic dependence. But Cassie broke free, and in doing so, she raised national awareness about intimate partner violence against Black women and highlighted how sharing one's truth can empower others facing similar struggles. One woman's courage became a lifeline for countless others who recognized their own stories in hers. This brings me to the first truth Lauren Phillips emphasized in our conversation. Self love is foundational to healing. For Black women, especially, embracing self love means accepting every part of your story, including difficult childhood experiences, as a vital step toward reclaiming power and breaking cycles of pain. Self love isn't selfish, it's survival. Self love isn't luxury, it's necessity. Self love isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. When you've been taught that your value lies in your capacity to endure, to care for others, to sacrifice, choosing yourself feels like betrayal. But it's actually the beginning of liberation. It's saying, my life matters too. My joy matters too. My safety matters too. The second truth Lauren shared is equally powerful. You can pull yourself out of domestic violence. Despite the disproportionate rates and unique challenges Black women face, it is possible to escape, rebuild your life, and find support in community resources and personal resilience. The KFF Women's Health Survey reveals something crucial about this journey. Many survivors accessed social services or leaned on informal networks when formal resources were lacking due to socioeconomic barriers. The data underscores urgent needs for culturally sensitive interventions tailored for Black communities. This matters because socioeconomic deprivation compounds vulnerability. Many affected are unmarried mothers from low income households who also fear for their children's safety. The survey has informed policy recommendations aimed at improving access to healthcare and survivor supports, specifically targeting communities most at risk. But policy change is slow, and women need help now. They need to know that leaving is possible, that healing is possible, that joy after trauma is possible. This brings us to the third truth from my conversation with Lauren. Your story matters, and you are not alone. Sharing your journey or seeking help can inspire others, reduce stigma, and foster collective healing within the Black community. The National Partnership Report highlights how survivors disproportionately face depression, PTSD, and suicidal ideation, but have less access to mental health care due to racism, economic hardship, and social stigma surrounding domestic violence disclosure. In response, community led programs have emerged offering peer counseling and support circles focused on cultural affirmation and self compassion practices as tools for recovery. Participants report improved mental health outcomes when supported by peers who share similar lived experiences, demonstrating how acceptance and community foster resilience after trauma. These inequities stem from historic underinvestment and discrimination, which reinforce silence and isolation around abuse within BIPOC communities. But these programs have achieved measurable reductions in depression and anxiety symptoms among participants, while increasing engagement with professional services over time. They've helped shift conversations nationally toward intersectional approaches addressing both individual empowerment and structural change. So, what does this mean for you or for someone you love who might be suffering in silence? It means dropping the cape. The superwoman syndrome has kept too many Black women trapped in situations that slowly destroy them. The belief that strength means endurance at all costs, that asking for help is weakness, that putting yourself first is selfish, These beliefs aren't just harmful, they can be deadly. True strength isn't staying. Sometimes true strength is leaving. True strength isn't silence. Sometimes true strength is speaking up. True strength isn't isolation. Sometimes true strength is reaching out. Lauren Phillips helped me understand that entering your soft girl era doesn't mean becoming weak. It means redefining strength on your own terms. It means protecting your peace as fiercely as you've protected others. It means healing in real time, not postponing your well being for some distant future when everyone else's needs have been met, because that future never comes. The time for healing is now. The time for softness is now. The time for self love is now. And yes, the time for boundaries is now. No is a complete sentence. I need help is an act of courage. I deserve better is not selfish, it's self preservation. I want to be clear, leaving an abusive relationship is complex and dangerous. It requires planning, support, and resources. It's not as simple as walking out the door. For many women, economic dependence, children, fear, isolation, and genuine love for their partner complicate the process. But it is possible. And you deserve freedom. You deserve peace. You deserve love that doesn't hurt. You deserve to reclaim the softness this world tried to harden out of you. As Lauren Phillips emphasized in our conversation, healing isn't linear. Some days will feel like progress, others like regression. That's normal. That's human. That's part of the journey. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even when that movement is microscopic, even when it's just a thought, a whisper, a tiny act of self care that no one else sees. Those moments count. Those moments accumulate. Those moments save lives. Today, I challenge you to break the silence, not just about domestic violence, but about the expectations that keep Black women trapped in cycles of pain. I challenge you to question the narrative that says strength means suffering in silence. I challenge you to recognize the courage and vulnerability, the power in asking for help, the revolution in choosing yourself. Write down 3 things you love about yourself or 3 things you survived and say them aloud each morning this week. Let your voice reclaim its power. Let your truth set you free. If you're struggling with past trauma or current abuse, reach out confidentially to a trusted friend, counselor, or local resource center for support. Your life depends on it. Your future is worth fighting for. And if you know someone who might be suffering, don't wait for them to ask for help. Be the safe space they need. Listen without judgment. Believe them, support them, stand with them. Because domestic violence thrives in silence, but healing blooms in community. The statistics I shared today are devastating, but they are not destiny. Together we can change them. Together, we can create a world where Black women's pain is neither normalized nor invisible, where their strength isn't exploited but celebrated, where their softness isn't seen as weakness but as the profound power it truly is. This is more than a conversation. This is a call to action. This is a movement toward healing, toward justice, toward a future where love never hurts. Your story matters. Your healing matters. Your life matters. And it starts now.